reinforces that those are false
Can you
solutions.
talk about that? So what was in what was the article?
Article 2.2 is the key article. It establishes the purpose of the climate agreement. Since COP19, the rights of indigenous peoples was in that article and has since been removed. You know, the nations of the world are concerned about legal liabilities with if they're held accountable to recognize the rights of indigenous peoples, and so they would rather cut that out than put that in. You know, there's also, I think, Mother Earth is only referenced once in the entire document, in a document to protect Mother Earth. That's absurd, you know? So it's essential for us as indigenous peoples that we advocate that the rights of indigenous peoples must be in the preamble as well as in the articles. Not just in the vision, but in the legally binding text of the agreement. And that's essential. And that indigenous rights of indigenous peoples, as well as human rights, that they're similar but they're different. That if we as Native people, if our human rights are being acknowledged, does not necessarily mean it's that our rights as indigenous peoples being acknowledged. That our collective rights, our ability to practice traditional life forms and to have collective responsibility to take care of our territories is not covered underneath human rights. And so we're pushing for both human rights and indigenous rights be acknowledged.
And how is that how does that also good for the environment? Like protecting the indigenous rights, it's not an either or necessarily between protecting the indigenous rights and helping the environment. How is that explained for someone who doesn't get that connection?
Well, it's like this. By acknowledging indigenous rights, we all benefit. It's not just a matter of that indigenous communities benefit, because it's proven time after time. I mean, we've existed for thousands of years in a sustainable system. And what we're asking for is allow us the right to self-determine our future as indigenous peoples, to renew our relationship and to continue that sustainable relationship that we have with Mother Earth. And by doing so, we're offering community, local, grassroots-based solutions that can be reinforced elsewhere across the planet. And so allowing us to practice the way we are and acknowledging our rights to practice the way we want to live, the world can learn from that.